Hi everyone, welcome to this very exciting first live IELTS class on our General IELTS Help channel. My name is Adrian and I am broadcasting this IELTS lesson to you live from beautiful Budapest, Central Europe, Hungary. I hope everybody is doing great. All right, so today we are looking at IELTS writing task 1, letter writing, which is unique to general IELTS, of course. General IELTS is different from academic IELTS in the writing and reading sections of the exam. Hi, Wisdom Talks. Good to see some people joining in on this first live General IELTS class. Hi, Zakruna Asma. Hi, Savage Gopi. Good to see people coming into the class. All right, so our materials do come from our websites, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. That's gieltshelp.com. And for academic IELTS, it's aehelp.com. So make sure to check us out there and join our full courses. All right, you can also get our exam books from your Amazon bookstore. Just search for GE Helps General IELTS. If you have questions about General IELTS or our products or our channel, you can always send me an email. My name, Adrian at aehelp.com or Adrian at gieltshelp.com as well. Hi, Amandeep. Hi, Abada. Simo. Good to see some more students coming on board. All right, so our live streaming schedule, now that we're starting live streaming on our General IELTS channel, it's again according to Central European time, so take note of this. Like today, it will be from 1:30, so these are not correct times here. It will be from 1:30, that's 13:30 until 14:30. So 13:30 until 14:30. 30 Wednesday to Saturday. Okay, so keep that in mind. Today we're doing writing task 1, letter writing. Tomorrow we will be doing some general IELTS reading. And then on the 11th, we'll do some listening strategy. And then on the 12th, we will do some speaking part 3. So keep that schedule in mind. Okay, let's look at our writing task 1 question for today. So the timing for writing task 1, you have 20 minutes for this. Okay, make sure you don't spend more than 20 minutes on task 1. You need to spend 40 minutes on task 2, okay? Task 1 is worth 1/3 of your writing score, roughly, and task 2 is worth 2/3. Now, it's a good chance to warm up your writing skills. Task 1 will be pretty much a letter. So you have to write a letter, an email, a letter to a person, to your boss, to a government office. So some kind of a letter, some kind of information. Today we're dealing with this question. You have recently moved to a new city. Write a letter to an English-speaking friend. In your letter, explain why you moved, describe your new city, tell him or her some other news. Write at least 150 words, okay? And you do not need to write the address in your letter, okay? The address is not important. Please don't waste time writing an address or a fake address. You don't get marks for that, okay? All right, so before we get going here, notice it says begin your letter as dear someone. All right, so as we get going here, writing task 1, letter writing, there are a lot of important steps to get a nice high band score, band 7, 8, 9, for this question. The first is to do a little bit of planning, okay? So task 1 is called a narrative essay. It's where you tell a story, okay? You're writing a letter. It's first and second person author voice, so you can use I and you in this kind of writing, not like in task 2. and you need to do some planning. Okay. Zakruna Asma says, I want to learn this in academic. Zakruna Asma, that's on our academic English help channel for the academic IELTS, okay? So this is for our general IELTS. It's been requested by many of our students. All right, so let's do a little bit of planning. Now, for letter writing in Task 1 General IELTS, there's a very good question to do some quick planning in your time limit, okay? So this is a strategy. Keep this in mind. And this is strategy number 1, okay? It's a very important strategy. This is also useful in the IELTS speaking. So to get a band 7 to 9, write a high level, easy essay by asking this very important question. And the very important question is, what would 9 from 10 people answer for this? Okay, so let me show you what I mean. This one here first, students. So explain why you moved. Okay, so this is the first question that you have to answer in your letter. Okay, so you have to explain why you moved. Now, what is the most popular answer to this question? So what would most people, what would 9 from 10 people answer to this question if you asked them, what was the reason you moved to a new city? Why did you move? So what do you think? What would be like the top answer? Okay, what would be like your number 1 answer? So if I went to 10 of my friends and I said, hey, why did you move to this new city? What do you think most people will answer to this question? Rahul Patil says, well, maybe it's a job. Reasons for a job. Got a new job. Sure. Rahul, absolutely. I think it's probably going to be number 1 answer for most people will be a job. What would be another top level answer? So new job, sure, that's possible. Absolutely. So number 1, new job. Why not? What would be another one? Move to a big house. So bought a house. Yeah, maybe you got a really good deal on a house. It's close to the other city where you live and work. It's close enough that it's worth moving. Sure, it's possible. I'm not sure if that would be the number 2, but it could be a top level answer for sure. House, okay? Thank you for that suggestion, Zenina. What could be another one? So job, house, think about tangibles. Think about something real. Mohammed, you can find videos on our channel here. Change of atmosphere. Sure, better opportunity. You want to pick an answer that's easy. Shiva Kumaran says change of atmosphere. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, by the way. It might be Siva Kumaran. Change of atmosphere is difficult to write about in a letter. It's easy to make mistakes, okay? Facilities, Oman, Mala, what do you mean facilities? Try to be a little bit more specific. I think some of the easier answers are new job, house, school, right, if you're going to university, or, come on, there's one that many of you will say, oh yeah, of course, and some of you watching maybe have moved for this reason. So people will move for school, for work, maybe because they bought a house. And what is one other big reason that girls and boys will take on an adventure and move to another town or city? I kind of gave you a hint in there. Better opportunity, change of atmosphere, those are okay too, but those are tricky to write about, okay? Med Amin says family or for business, possibly. Could be for love, guys. Don't forget, girls, love, right? You fall in love with a girl, fall in love with a guy, they live in a different city. Hey, magic happens, and then somebody moves to where the other person is. Yeah, Rahul says marriage, maybe marriage, right? You meet somebody special. All right, so visualize, okay? So good, sure, that's fine. So again, ask this question before you start writing. You need to do a little bit of planning. It's very important for letter writing, okay? You need to do a little bit of planning. You need to figure out your answers for the questions, not just start writing because you can make big mistakes and put yourself into a difficult situation. Describe your new city. Okay, what would 9 out of 10 people describe? So this is, again, the question is very important. So asking the correct questions is more important than giving the correct answers, okay? Think about questions, not just answers. So what would 9 from 10 people describe about a new city? Now be careful. Zachrona says maybe a coworker, or talk about coworkers. That would be describing your new job. You have to be careful to stay on topic. Okay, so what would 9 from 10 people describe about a new city? So again, explain why we moved. Maybe job, maybe study. Okay, pick one. Don't choose all of them. Describe your new city. What would 9 out of 10 people talk about? So again, some good answers coming up. Med Amin Sahmodi says the weather. Yeah, people love talking about the weather. Sometimes students say, I don't have enough ideas to write for task 1, general IELTS. But you'll notice that you can write about a lot of information when you pay attention to the other students' comments. Sarah Motaz says the atmosphere. Yeah, that's a good start, Sarah, but again, narrow your ideas into more tangible. So focus your ideas. In your next comment, you said the appearance of the city, so whether it looks modern or more traditional. Yeah, so that's the architecture, right? So culture, architecture, so what the city looks like, the physical buildings in the city, geography, right? Geography means near a lake, near an ocean, a river, if it's flat or it's got hills. So think about the physical aspect of that. Junoon says the food as part of the culture. Absolutely. When we say culture, we're also talking about people, right? So what the people are like, all right? Now, you have to be careful to keep structure in your answer. Don't just jump all over the place. Rahul, another good suggestion, transportation. Okay. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. So people would talk about the weather, culture, geography, food, transportation. Okay, and then tell him or her other news. We can leave that until the last, okay? So don't forget about that last question, the tell about other news. Don't worry about it too much. Just start writing. You can get that in at the end. You don't need to think about your other news yet. Okay, focus on the new city and your move. All right, so let's start writing. Okay, so task 1, here's our response. Let's start it up here with the deer. Okay, so here we go. So start your letter with dear. Again, don't put an address in there, so you don't need to put a fake address. That's just wasting time. You're not going to get marks for that. So let's start by saying, Dear John. Okay. Now, you're writing to a friend, so you don't need to write Mr. or Mrs. That's awkward. Okay. Pay attention always to who you're writing to. Okay, here you're writing to an English-speaking friend. You will be using their first name or a nickname. You will not be writing Mr. or Mrs. or Sir. That's just strange. If you write that, that's a mistake. Okay, it's a coherence mistake because it means that you didn't pay attention to the question. So here you want to say, Dear John. Okay, you're writing to a friend. I'm just making up a name here. Now, how many paragraphs should the letter be? Okay, so task 1, general IELTS, letter writing, 20 minutes. How many paragraphs? How many paragraphs? How many paragraphs should I write in the letter? What should I include? Okay, this is structural tips, so it's very important. Okay, so structure of task 1. So Prashant says maybe 3. Siva Kumaran says 2. Sarah says 1. It's really 3. 2 short ones, 1 long one. Okay, so here it's 3 paragraphs. This is the best way. So paragraph 1 is the introduction. Okay, in your introduction, you should explain the purpose of your letter. Okay. And this should be, again, so the focus here is writing for band 7 to band 9. Okay, so when you do what I'm explaining to you, you will get that band 7 to band 9. So you should introduce you, give a little bit of background to what's happening, the purpose of your letter, that's very important. And the length of this should be 2 to 3 sentences. Okay, and then paragraph 2 is your body paragraph. And that's where you go into details. You include qualitative and quantitative information. Qualitative means good, bad, happy, sad, far, close. Quantitative information is numbers. It's like the weather is 20 degrees outside. I live 3 kilometers from my workplace. Okay, so it's numbers. It gives us more clear communication. You want to combine both. You want to say, fortunately, I found a house very close to my new workplace. It's just 2 kilometers away. I usually walk in the morning. It only takes me about 20 minutes. It's great exercise before I start my day. So qualitative, quantitative information, okay? Body paragraph, go into details, include qualitative, quantitative information, visual and sensory information, good examples, okay? And it must have great structure. Okay, that's what you should do for your body paragraph, all right? Okay, now the third paragraph is your sign-off. It's basically your conclusion, okay? I'm going to call it the goodbye paragraph. It's basically where you wrap up your ideas, you give your last sentiments, meaning your final thoughts about what you are writing about, and then you close your letter, okay? So okay, and here you want to include a request for feedback, and dialogue, okay? So what that means is you always want to express to the person that you're writing the letter to that you want to hear from them. You hope to hear back from them, okay? All right, so let's do this for our example, okay? Jason G, are you a paid member on this channel or on our academic English help channel? Let me know, okay? We will do members chat classes on this channel as well. So we'll get into the membership later. We're just kicking off these live classes on our General IELTS Help channel, okay? So you can become a member by clicking join on the channel. All right, students, stay with me here. Focus, focus. You will have a much better idea of how to answer this question that we're looking at today. So let's look at the question one more time here, okay? We're answering this question. We're writing a letter to an English-speaking friend. In our letter, we explain why we moved, describe the new city, tell them about some other news, and we're writing at least 150 words. So we're starting our letter by saying, "Dear John," and then we begin our first paragraph. And traditionally, especially in letters, we do indent at the beginning of each paragraph. So indent 5 spaces, just use the tab if you're using your computer, and then begin. Usually we begin letters with some kind of a warm greeting or some kind of an expression, all right? Give me some expression. So give me some ways to start a letter when I'm writing to my friend. Give me something that you feel would be a good way in English to start a letter when you are writing to your friend, when you're addressing your friend. You're very welcome, Vivek. It's been a long time coming. Okay, Prashant, we're on the same page. I'm beginning writing right now. Okay, so Med Amin says, hey, begin with, I hope you're doing well. Just a second. Get the camera back on here for you. Just as some good comments are coming up, of course. All right. Greetings to you is a little bit strange when you're writing to a friend, Pishek. Dear my friend John, Sarah's incorrect English. We wouldn't express ourselves that way. Good day to you is awkward in a letter, Mark Cooper. Junoon says, greetings of the day and hope you are doing well. Again, a little bit awkward to a friend. Okay, so far I think Med Amin has the best response with, I hope you are doing well. Okay. Nagar says, hope you're having a great time. Nice, it's a good contraction there. And it's a very friendly kind of start, okay? Metamine says, I hope my message finds you well. I hope my letter, Metamine, it's more than just a message. You're actually writing a letter, okay? So careful with word choice. And I like this one, so I'm going to use it. Hope you're having a great time and doing well these days. All right. So there's a way to start it. You're using a contraction here. Hope you are. Hope your. Contractions are absolutely okay, especially if you're writing to a friend in Task 1 General IELTS. They will help to increase your score. It's more natural English language, okay? Hope you're having a great time and doing well these days. All right, let's continue. Again, remember, introduction, we're letting our friend know why we are writing them, okay? There are many ways to start the letter, and we'll see more examples as we do more of these live streams on this channel, okay? So I hope this letter finds you in good health. I haven't spoken in a long time. Finally, I have some time to write a letter for you. So there are different ways to do this. Thank you for that. Okay. All right, so let's introduce the purpose of the letter. I have some exciting news for you. I have recently moved to, okay, and then you might want to say a new city so that it shows that you're paying attention to the question, but be specific, okay? I have some exciting news for you. I've recently moved to a new city, and then name the city. Vancouver. My hometown is Victoria, which is Canada, British Columbia. Vancouver is very close, so pick another city that's close to where I'm at, easy to write about. I've recently moved to a new city, Vancouver, just 2 months ago. Okay? And again, I'm using quantitative language. So instead of just leaving it with recently, recently is qualitative language. It's a quality. 2 months ago is quantitative language. So recently translated with 2 months ago. Again, pushing up my IELTS band score to get that higher grade. Okay? All right. So again, dear John, hope you're having a great time and doing well these days. I have some exciting news for you. I have recently moved to a new city, Vancouver, just 2 months ago. Am I done my introduction? No, not yet. What am I missing? What am I missing from this introduction? So if we look at the question and we look at the notes that I explain here. So introduction introduces me, the background, which we just did, the purpose of our letter. What else should I include in this introductory paragraph? One more sentence to make it really good and get that high band score when the examiner is reading it. What am I missing? Especially those students who are watching this from the beginning should click and realize I don't need to say anything else about myself here because John would know who's writing the letter because obviously the letter would have an address on it with my name. Abhishek says the reason for moving. Okay. By the way, Nahal, you're not completely off. So if the letter were to the manager of a restaurant, I'm making a complaint, or to my boss, then I would introduce myself in this first part. The only reason I'm not introducing who I am is because the letter is to my friend. So it's a little bit different for that case. But otherwise, you're not completely off, Nahal. So you were on the right path there. It's just because it's my friend and not a stranger that I'm not introducing myself. Okay? It's weird in a letter to introduce yourself to your friend. Like, hi, this is your friend Adrian. It can be kind of like, yes, I knew that when I opened the envelope, all right? But Sarah, you're right, why I moved. Yeah, so Abhishek said the same. The purpose of the moving. So why did I move? All right. So let's choose one of those top answers. Remember, we said job or school or found new love. So let's go with work. Let's keep it simple. The reason I've decided to make this life change is because of a new job offer which I just couldn't refuse. I make twice as much money doing what I love, graphic design. Okay? So again, I'm pushing you students to write at the highest level for task 1 to get those band 7, band 8s, band 9s. Don't worry if you're not there yet. Practice makes perfect, but I'm showing you what you can do. So here, the reason I've decided to make this life change. Notice I'm using I have, and again, I'm using another contraction. So I'm taking the word I and have and pushing it together. The reason I've decided to make this life change is because of a new job offer, which I couldn't refuse. Which I couldn't refuse, another contraction, and an adjective clause. Okay. Now here, semicolon, and I explain or I add of why I didn't refuse it. Okay, so it's an explanation for not refusing. I make twice as much money doing what I love, comma, graphic design. Okay, what I love is graphic design. So that's a fairly complex sentence. And when you write like that, that's what you need to get a band 8.5, a band 9. Okay? Now, if you're not at that level yet, that's okay. Just write it in a more simple way. Make sure to include it. The reason I decided to move is because of a new job. I make twice as much money, so I made the move. Okay, so keep it more simple. All right, it's okay to keep it more simple. All right, so that's our introduction. It explains the purpose of our letter. It gives a salutation. So let me go back. Salutation, purpose of the letter, and now I can go into details. So how can I start off my second body paragraph? This is my main paragraph, okay? How can I start off this main paragraph? What can I do? What would be a good sentence to begin with? You can't really make mistakes here. You can just tell me one sentence that's better than another sentence, okay? So this is your body. This is where you go into details. Focus on answering the question in the task 1. How can I start? So Ahmed Amin Sakhmoudi says, start by describing the city. Sure. Give me a sentence, Ahmed Amin. So I'm looking for those specific sentences. My goal with this live class, just like with all of our academic live classes, is to teach you to fish, not just give you fish. What I mean by that is I don't just want to give you sentences and words and ideas, but I want you to practice and learn them. So start writing your own sentence. Prashant says, to begin with, no, I don't like it. It's too cliche. Too many students start a paragraph with to begin with. It's not good for getting high marks, Prashant. I say stop using that expression. Too many students use it on IELTS. It's too cliche. Nahal says, I'm looking forward to hearing news from you soon. Nahal, you're jumping way into paragraph 3 here. We're just in paragraph 2, okay? So far we have about 35 words. We're nowhere near our 150. We need about 100 words talking about the city. Nagar Bani Safar says, there are certain things that I like about this city. Nagar, it's not bad, okay? You can start with that. There are certain aspects I really enjoy about this city. Nagar, don't use the word things. If you avoid the word things and use aspects or parts, your band score will go up. The word things and stuff has very, very little value. Okay, so use or find a better noun always than things or something. Okay, Janoon says, hey, just start talking about the weather. The weather of Vancouver is very nice and pleasant. That's a good maybe way to start, Janoon. Sure, weather is a good lead-in. Okay. Nagard, no, I wouldn't do that. There are certain things that I like about this city, but what I like the most is, I wouldn't do that because, again, it's just weak writing, okay? Yeah, Sarah says, okay, I didn't think much about this amazing city, but now I realize there are a lot of amenities, supermarkets, beautiful sights, and a great culture. Sure, that's a good way to start. Yeah, okay, so now we're getting some good starts. Absolutely, good job, students. That's what I want. I want you to engage me, and I want you to engage each other when you're doing this, because now you're practicing, and I'll catch your comments, and I can correct or upgrade what you're doing, okay? You can start by something like, I would love to express for you my experiences in Vancouver so far. Okay? So I would love to express for you my experience in Vancouver so far. The city is amazing. It has great facilities, people, and weather. Okay, so you can start by something like that. Here I mentioned 3 points right away. So I would love to express for you my experience in Vancouver so far. The city is amazing. It has great facilities, people, and weather. So my reader, John, now knows that I'm going to tell him about the facilities, I'm going to tell him about the people, and I'm going to tell him about the weather. All right, now best practice is to do it in the same order that you're going to express it in. Okay, so let's go with people last. Let's go to facilities second. And let's go with weather first, because weather is a good and easy one to open with. Okay. So unlike most of Canada, which has very cold winters, Vancouver is a cool and comfortable, temperate climate between what? What should I write here? Again, I really want to help you remember and learn this point, because for all of you who are watching this lesson right now, as long as you remember this one point that I'm showing you right now and include it into your task 1 in your IELTS, I promise that you will get at least half a band or a full band higher score than if you forget to do this, okay? So Nagar, very good. Nagar says, include some quantitative language. Like what? What should I include here? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nagar. Very good. You're a quick thinker. Good. So what should I include here? Has very cold winters. Vancouver is a cool and comfortable temperature or temperate climate between what? Anybody know what the temperatures are in Vancouver? Want to take a guess in the year from January to December, roughly? What it is? It's very similar to my hometown of Victoria, which is just an hour and a half by boat ride onto Vancouver Island. So what can I write here? I can write temperate climate between, I bet maybe a couple of you are Googling right now, annual temperatures in Vancouver. Yeah, that's right, Abhishek. Between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. Yeah, we do not usually drop to sub-temperatures. So between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius, okay? Good, yeah, so my big point here, I really want you to catch this from today's lesson is, don't just use qualitative language like cool, comfortable temperature or temperate climate, but include the actual numbers between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. This way my friend John will understand much, much better, okay? So, here we go. I would love to express for you my experience in Vancouver so far. The city is amazing. It has great weather, facilities, and people. Unlike most of Canada, which has very cold winters, Vancouver is a cool and comfortable temperate climate between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. In fact, even though it is the middle of December, or we can even say January. Let's keep it to today's date. In fact, even though it is the middle of January, I was able to go and play golf with some colleagues. I bet we couldn't do that back home in Calgary. this time of year. Okay, exclamation mark. Again, this is a narrative. You're writing a letter to your friend. It's almost like a one-sided conversation. So you're thinking about your friend. You're thinking about the way that they read your letter, okay? And I'm talking about the weather. I'm giving a good explanation. I'm including quantitative language. And now I throw in a real-life example to back up this information. So in fact, even though it is the middle of January, I was able to go and play golf with some colleagues. I bet we couldn't do that back home in Calgary this time of year. Exclamation mark, okay? Pushing you to that band 9. Even if you're not able to write with the same grammar or the same level of complexity, as long as you have this structure, this logic, you can get a very good band score. You can get a 6.57. Prashant is asking, is it necessary to write the exact temperature or can we just guess? Prashant, you can absolutely guess, okay? You don't have to tell the truth in your letter. Your letter doesn't have to have real facts. It should be believable, but you can just make it up. You can say 0 to 30 degrees or -5 to 25. It doesn't matter as long as you put in that quantitative language. Good question, Prashant, okay? So all of you students who guess different, like Hasham and Junoon, it's fine, okay? It's not a mistake. If you wrote those answers or wrote that information, that would be fine, okay? All right, so that's enough about the weather. Remember, it's 150 words minimum. For Band 8, Band 9, you should be thinking 200, 220 words for your letter, okay? But at least 150 words, but don't get too carried away, okay? It's easy to get lost and not finish your letter, okay? Now, you don't have to do too many comparisons, Nahal, about Calgary being more expensive. You're focusing on Vancouver. So facilities and people, okay? So let's focus on facilities. In addition to golf, there are recreation centers and shopping malls and I was going to write everywhere like this, okay? And that's okay. So if I write, in addition to golf, there are recreation centers and shopping malls everywhere. So I'm writing about the facilities now, right? That's my second point from this first sentence opening up my body paragraph. Now, here, I was going to write everywhere, and then you probably saw that I started deleting that. I started erasing it because I realized that's not good. I can use better language. So in addition to golf, there are recreation centers and shopping malls. What can I write here that's better than the word everywhere? Okay, what can I write there that's going to be better than the word everywhere? Okay, don't talk about the country. Remember, the question, Moise Danielle, is about the city of Vancouver, right? So we're writing a letter to an English-speaking friend, and we're writing about moving to a new city, why we moved, describe the city, and some other news, okay? So instead of everywhere, Abhishek says around the city. That's okay. Yeah, that would be all right as well. You want to avoid words like everywhere, thing, anywhere. Rojan, send me an email about that. I can't just go off topic to start answering that question. All areas is okay, Nahal, as well. Even better would be shopping malls in each district or municipality in our case. Or municipality might be a difficult word for some of you, so and maybe quite local to Canada, so we can write district. Okay. In each district. More specific, higher level, better band score, better lexical resource score in your IELTS, okay? So in addition to golf, there are recreation centers and shopping malls in each district. Not only are there many facilities for shopping and entertainment, but they are also modern and high quality. Okay, so here I'm adding some more explanation. Not only are there many facilities for shopping and entertainment, which explains the golf, the recreation centers, the shopping malls. Here I'm saying, but they're also modern and high quality. Okay, now notice what I did here. Look at this. Not only, but also. That's called a correlative conjunction. Okay, correlative conjunctions also will help to increase your IELTS band score. So make sure to use those. The whether or, neither nor, either or, not only but also, both and. These are all called correlative conjunctions. They're very useful. They emphasize, strengthen your communication, and they will help your band score go up. So here I put one of those in the explanation. Not only are there many facilities for shopping and entertainment, but they are also modern and high quality. Okay, what should I write next? So I've just done a little bit more explanation here. What should I do? What can I do next to really give quality to my letter and improve my band score? Hi, Harkamal. So what would be a good step here? After this point, explanation and wada bing. So Nagar says, throw something in about personal experience. Yeah, absolutely. Or another way to say that is a personal example, right? Absolutely. Yeah, personal example. Just a short 5-minute walk from my house is Mega Mall, which was built in 2012 and has over 400 shops and 100 restaurants. Okay? So absolutely, just a nice, quick, real example, maybe some quantitative language in there to emphasize that point, and then really get that band score nice and high. What can I do next? What should I do next? Okay, so I've talked about the weather, I've talked about the facilities, and now what should I do? Now what do I need to write about for those students who are watching, okay? Again, let's go back a little bit here for some students who are just joining in. So we're writing about moving to a new city. It's task 1, general IELTS. We're explaining why we moved. We're describing the city and then giving some other news. And Sarah Muataz says, well, hey, let's talk about the people. Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, can you give me a sentence of how I can join that information? So let's join or add that information here. How can I join information about the people in the city? Just a short 5-minute walk from my house is Mega Mall, which was built in 2012 and has over 400 shops and 100 restaurants. So this is how I would do it. Think about some sentences here, students, that would work to naturally begin talking about your experience with the people in this city. Farhim, good to see you on our General IELTS channel. So Farhim says, people are social and understanding. Farhim, that's how you do this sentence, okay? People are social and understanding. Okay, that's how I would introduce that idea, Farheen. So giving a little bit more complexity to that. Nagar says, moreover, people are generally warm-blooded. Okay, Nagar, I might use the term down to earth instead of warm-blooded. I would say down to earth and friendly. So moreover, people are down to earth and friendly. People are probably the most important when we move to a new city. So that's why I started with above all. Okay, keeping that for last. That's why for those students who are watching from the beginning, remember how I reorganized these 3 points, weather, facilities, and people? That wasn't by accident. I did that because in natural conversation, most of us would probably talk about weather first, then we get into some more serious topics about facilities, and finally, the most serious and important topic about a new city, the people, right? Okay, some nice contributions. Moist Danielle says, moreover, the people are very kind and always ready to help no matter what issue I'm experiencing. Moist, I would take, instead of the you, and write I, because I'm talking about myself in the new city. So it's kind of strange to talk directly to John. Careful when you choose the pronoun you versus I in your letter. Okay, it's very important. When you're reviewing your letter, always look at those pronouns of I and you or we and us and think, okay, is this the right pronoun here, or should I be writing I instead of you? Should I be writing us instead of you or we? Okay, so careful with that. Sarah, good. The people here are very nice. They're social and help. They live in harmony with each other. Live in peace together is kind of weird. Live in harmony is maybe a little bit better. Okay, it's just my opinion. All right. Okay, sure. So above all, I'm truly pleased with the attitude of most people I've met. They are social and understanding. Like the other day when I was lost downtown, a nice elderly woman approached me and gave me directions even though I didn't ask for help. Okay, so again, throwing in a nice example to back up that explanation. Now I have to be careful because I'm definitely getting close now to the 150 mark for words. I might be running out of time, the 20 minutes, and I still haven't answered all of my questions for task 1. You have to answer all of these questions for task completion. So tell him or her about other news. Now, to make that clear, I'd probably want to do that in my closing paragraph. Okay? So here, I can write now my conclusion, so my closing paragraph to all of this. And I want to make sure that it's strongly connected, okay? So I want to think about, okay, I don't just want to jump from one idea to the other because that will be awkward and confusing for my reader. It might be strange. So it has to be connected, okay? So how can I connect it? How can I give new information? Well, this is what you can do, okay? So wrap it up. In any case, I would love if you could come visit me and see Vancouver for yourself. I'm sure we would have a great time exploring together. Oh, that reminds me, my new flat has an extra bedroom for guests, so you don't even need to worry about accommodations. Okay, I hope to hear news from you soon, and a time when you can come to visit me. Okay, so something like that. All right, so notice that here, what I did is I visualized that, okay, I'm telling my friend about Vancouver and how it's great, but of course, at the end of the day, I would love for my friend to come and visit me. And that gives me a chance to add in some other news or something else that's interesting, which is my new flat, which has an extra bedroom for guests. Now, to introduce that naturally, I put, oh, that reminds me. Okay, so that's a natural way to lead in with that expression. All right. So the new flat has an extra bedroom, so you don't even need to worry about accommodations. I hope to hear from you soon and a time when you can come to visit me. And then I'm going to sign off. Always make sure to finish your letter. How would you finish this letter? So now that we're coming to the end of this letter, how can you give your ending salutation? What do you think would be a natural way to say goodbye to your friend in a letter? Okay. By the way, Sarah, those are some good suggestions. Hisham, people socialize with each other. People connect with each other is strange, or connecting with each other. So Moise Danielle says, best wishes, Tom. Abhishek says, yours sincerely. Sure, best wishes is okay. Tom is fine. Yours is strange. I see a lot of students writing yours. We only usually write yours at the end of the letter if you're writing for your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband, if you're a woman or whoever. So best wishes or just sincerely. Don't write yours. Sarah, that's good. Yep, your friend Adrian. Okay, here's a fun one for you, just something different. There you go. Man hug, Adrian. All right, man hug, bro hug, Adrian. If it's a good friend, if it's your best friend, you're going to have some funky, natural ways to say hi and goodbye to each other. Okay, secret handshake, right? And just for a fun ending here for you, so you know I'm not all serious all the time. Man hug, Adrian, is how we're going to wrap it up, okay? But yeah, your friend or sincerely, best wishes, those are some nice ways to wrap it up as well. All right, always review your letter. Make sure you haven't missed any important points from the question, okay? When you're practicing at home and preparing for IELTS, it's really important. So let's go through our letter. Dear John, hope you're having a great time and doing well these days. I have some exciting news for you. I have recently moved to a new city, Vancouver, just 2 months ago. The reason I've decided to make this life change is because of a new job offer which I just couldn't refuse. I make twice as much money doing what I love, graphic design. I would love to express for you my experience in Vancouver so far. The city is amazing. It has great weather, facilities, and people. Unlike most of Canada, which has very cold winters, Vancouver is a cool and comfortable temperate climate between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. In fact, even though it is the middle of January, I was able to go and play golf with some colleagues. I bet we couldn't do that back home in Calgary this time of year. In addition to golf, there are recreation centers and shopping malls in each district. Not only are there many facilities for shopping and entertainment, but they are also modern and high quality. Just a short 5-minute walk from my house is Mega Mall, which was built in 2012 and has over 400 shops and 100 restaurants. Above all, I'm truly pleased with the attitude of most people I've met. They are social and understanding. Like the other day when I was lost downtown, a nice elderly woman approached me and gave me directions even though I didn't ask for help. In any case, I would love if you could come visit me and see Vancouver for yourself. I'm sure we would have a great time exploring together. Oh, that reminds me, my new flat has an extra bedroom for guests, so you don't even need to worry about accommodations. I hope to hear news from you soon and a time when you can come to visit. Man hug, Adrian. All right. That is the letter for this response. Okay. Sarah, if it's a woman, you could just say hug. Okay. Or you could just say sincerely. All right. All right. So, ladies and gents, that is our first live stream for our General IELTS Help channel. In about 30 minutes at 15 o'clock, I'll be continuing with another live stream on our Academic English Help channel. So if you search for Academic English Help, you will find our other channel. That's for Academic IELTS. We're doing speaking part 1 and 2 strategy and practice there in 30 minutes. Speaking is the same for academic and for general IELTS. So even if you're general IELTS students, go to that channel and check me out there. Thank you so much, students, for participating. It was great showing you skills for task 1 today. A lot of you are getting the right ideas. Remember the key points here. You need 3 paragraphs, okay? The 3 paragraphs include the introduction. It introduces you, the purpose of your letter, some background. Body paragraph gives the details, the explanations. You answer all the questions of task 1. Include qualitative information. Back it up with quantitative information. Include examples with visual and sensory information. Okay? In your conclusion, wrap up your thoughts, say a goodbye, and ask for some kind of a response. Okay? Very, very important. Follow these steps. Practice that at home. Develop your vocabulary and your grammar along with this structure. You'll get a great band score. All right, everyone. Hope to see you in 30 minutes on our other channel, Academic English Help, for some speaking. For those of you who are doing something else, hey, the power is to you. Much love to all of you. Tomorrow, I'll see you on this channel at the same time for some general IELTS reading strategy. Bye for now.